Hi guys, welcome back to Beth K Beauty. Today I'm going to show you a simple makeup routine that I do on a regular basis when I want a natural, easy look. It started out with my intention being a 5-minute makeup routine. Turned out to be more like a 10-minute makeup routine as I was talking through it all, and then you know what, as I added it all up, nope, it's even longer than that. So bear with me for the length of it, but I do show you in great detail how I pull together the look and talk through every product that I use. Thanks for watching. Enjoy. First of all, I'm going to start by using a bit of a primer. If you've watched beauty channels before and you're familiar with YouTubers, you've probably seen this before. It's the Monistat Complete Care Chafing Relief Powder Gel. It is not for the treatment of any kind of condition. It's simply it has very similar ingredients to any face primer, and I've been using it for a while upon the suggestion of other beauty YouTubers, and I really like the way it works. So that's the first thing going on the face today. So just a little dab of it on the fingers. We rub it together a bit and then gently pat it into the areas of my skin that I tend to have more visible pores. So kind of in my T-zone, and I'm carrying it out to the mid-cheek a little bit today because I have a bit of a breakout going on there. So I want to even that skin tone out. The next thing I'm going to put over top of that is my Kay Oil Mattifier. It's similar as well to a primer in consistency, but its purpose is solely for mattifying. So that is going on next. Same kind of treatment. I'm going to kind of rub it together on the tips of my fingers and pat it over the T-zone. Okay, I don't want to rub too much because I don't want to remove any of the product that I've put on. Next thing I'm going to do is use my beauty blender, which I love. I just kind of recently discovered it. I've only been using it for a few weeks. I had been using just like a foundation brush, but I finally broke down and bought the beloved beauty blender, and I really enjoy it. So I'm going to take some of my foundation, which in this case today is the American Beauty Perfectly Even Natural Finish Foundation. You can get this at Kohl's. I think, unfortunately, the brand is on its way out right now. So if you head to Kohl's, you can get it at like a really excellent discount if you wanted to try that product, but I don't think it's going to be something that I can get much longer, which I'm kind of sad about because I really like the finish of it. So I dotted it on my face and I'm just spreading it around a little bit. I'm not rubbing it by any means, but I want my beauty blender to blend it out, not to, I don't want it to pick up too much of the product. So now I'm just going to take the beauty blender and I'm tapping it into my skin. Just a tapping motion, not a rubbing motion. Okay. And then similarly, by another brand, or the same brand, excuse me, I'm going to use the concealer from American Beauty. This is called the Perfecting Concealer. I have the shade Light Medium, it's number 3, and Light Medium Cool was the foundation, which is number 6, if you have a similar skin tone to me. This concealer is not too much of a, like, brightening concealer because it's a pretty close match to my skin tone. It just kind of helps continue covering up any discolorations, any darkness under my eyes. I'm going to put the tiniest dab on this little guy. Normally you don't want to put a light concealer on a pimple because light brings things forward, it makes things stand out. But in this case, since the concealer is so close to my foundation color, it covers up a blemish like that pretty nicely. Okay, and then I'm going to take the tip of my beauty blender, the pointy bit, and I'm just going to gently and quickly kind of tap that in. And that just continued to even out the skin tone pretty well. I'm going to put a little bit around the nose because that tends to get kind of red as well. And just tap that up. Okay. The next thing I'm going to add on top, just to kind of set it and even things a little bit more, is my Physicians Formula. It's the Mineral Wear Talc-Free Mineral Face Powder. This is in the shade Translucent Light. It has some sunscreen in it, which is good. My lotion underneath all the makeup also has sunscreen, so I'm nicely protected from the sun. I'm actually using the roundest part of the Beauty Blender to apply this. I'm not using a brush. I find that when I want a little bit more coverage, the Beauty Blender works awesome even with my powder foundation. So I don't even switch it up and grab a brush in this instance. I just keep on going with the Beauty Blender, and I really like the way it works out. Again, my skin's still looking really natural, but it's just evened it out a little bit more. And I'm putting a little bit of powder over the concealer in the under eye area with the pointed bit to help set that. So my skin tone is nice and even. After all that, I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of color back into the face using my Tarte Blush in Buff. And I'm just going to tap my EcoTools buffing brush, custom coverage buffing brush, tapping it into the top of the product, and I'm going to tamp it where I want my cheekbone to be. I mean, I can feel where my cheekbone is, but I want to really emphasize that part of the face. A little bit more on the apples of the cheeks, just to lighten up the face. And I'm going to take just a little bit and tamp it up by my forehead. You could take a bronzer and do the same thing, but I'm just keeping it quick with as few products as I can today. Whatever extras on the brush, pulling down to my neck to make sure everything's nice and even. All right, I'm going to go in next with, and I realize this is not a 5-minute face. I'm up to about 7 minutes. I guess it takes a little bit longer when I'm talking through it all. But the next product I'm going to use is from Milani. It is their eyebrow pencil in Natural Taupe. And it's a twist up, which is really nice. It's water resistant, so it pretty much lasts through the day really nicely. The shape of my brows doesn't need a lot of help, but they're pretty light and there's just some sparse areas, so I'm just going to go in, add a little bit of pencil in, a very light hand, and then drag it through with a spoolie. You can see the difference already with just one eyebrow done. All right, next I'm going to start my eyes, and I'm going to use my e.l.f. eyeshadow C brush. It has a nice fluffy end, but not so fluffy that I get a lot of fallout. There's a good amount of control. I'm going to take my Walking on Eggshells Wet n Wild Trio, starting with the brow bone color, which is a light, just kind of a gold champagne-y color. It's really just almost a match to my skin tone with a little bit of shimmer, and I'm applying a little bit all across the eyelid and up into the brow bone. And that's going over my Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion. And then I'm going to go ahead and take the same brush and dip it into the crease color, going straight for the crease. And I'm going to just press that into the crease. And again, this brush, I really like it because it's a little bit firm. It's firm enough to really do a good crease and not give me fallout. I hate it when I'm doing the back and forth motion with the brush and I'm getting it all over my cheeks. So I tend to prefer a brush that's not too soft or fluffy, really. So that just gives me a little bit of definition, nothing crazy. Again, this is like an everyday makeup look. And yeah, we're gonna have to call it a 10-minute face as I check out the clock. Okay, so I've got the shadow in both creases and just along sort of the outer edge of my lid. I didn't go towards that inner edge. I want that to stay nice and light. I'm going to take a little bit of the eyelid shade, which is just slightly more pinkish, and apply that again from the inside of the eye across the center of the lid, just to brighten that area up. I want the eyes to look really natural. And then mascara. I love Revlon's Lash Potion. It's by Grow Luscious, that line, although I haven't seen the standard Grow Luscious in stores for a while. I think it's still online, but that's okay because I like the Lash Potion a lot. I like the formula. It's really, I have the shade Blackest Black 001. The formula is really nice because it's a pretty glossy sort of mascara, so I feel like it transfers really well. It's not dry, in other words. I don't like a super dry mascara. I'm also not a fan of mascara brushes that have the rubberized bristles. They kind of hurt my eyelids. I guess I have sensitive eyes, so I definitely try to stick to a natural brush, and the fluffier the better, in my opinion. So I really like this one for that reason. The formula is glossy, it's very black, and the brush has natural bristles. One coat makes a giant difference, you can already tell. And it's not clumpy either, which is wonderful. Why do we hang our mouths open when I like always have my mouth open when I'm putting mascara on. And I'm going to go in for a second coat on both eyes, just to get a bit more volume and length. Okay, simple eye. And now for a simple lip. I'm going to take my NYX Automatic Lip Pencil, Retractable Lip Liner, excuse me, in Pretty in Pink. And I'm just going to line the lips a little bit to give some definition. Also, it's going to help my lipstick last. Just adds a little bit of color to the lip and gives a good base for the lipsticks to stay on. I'm using Urban Decay's Illicit. Which is just a nice sheer pink. Okay, that is my, should have been 5-minute, but turns out 10-minute face. Thanks for watching.